we start with a celebration of excellence and recognition of hard work of a Nigerian who defied the odds and a woman's reality to fly the Nigerian flag at the global stage as the Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, and a former Minister of Finance here in Nigeria. She is no other person than Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, as she bags the This Day Woman of the Year award. This award was presented to her in Davos, Switzerland, by the chairman This Day / Arise Media Group, Prince Nduka Obaigwena.
To the glory of God, it's an honor and privilege in Davos today to present on behalf of the audiences of Arise News Channel around the world, on behalf of the readers of these newspapers, commemorating our 30th anniversary, celebrating the tough and resilient, to present our Woman of the Year award to an uncommon African who is carrying the African flag around the world, showing that the African century is upon us. It's a privilege to present our 2024 Woman of the Year award to the Right Honorable Head of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Well, thank you so much. To the indomitable Nduka Obaigwena, who one of the most creative people I know on the continent, and the founder, I should say founder, of both Arise and This Day. I want to thank you for taking the trouble in this very cold weather to present me with this award. I'm very grateful to This Day for this recognition and to all the audiences who have supported this. This is not the first time I've received a This Day award. When I was finance minister, you also recognized me as finance minister of the year. But this is very, very, very special. And I promise you, I don't take it lightly. I will continue to do my best to try and represent the country and the continent the best way I can, and to make sure that the dividends of development also flow our way. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
God bless you, God keep you, to the glory of God in Davos today.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. It's a special eagle.
Yes. On the wings of the eagle we
Absolutely.
shall fly.
Absolutely.
And our nation will also fly on the wings of an eagle.
Absolutely.
Well, interesting there, the chairman of this Arise presenting that award, Woman of the Year, to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Now to the issue at hand. The President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, recently held a meeting with representatives from Ogoni land as a prelude to resuscitating oil exploration in that region. At the core of matters discussed at the meeting is how to engender peace, entrench justice, and encourage sustainable development for the people of the region. This laudable objective has raised hopes that justice will be done, with particular reference to the cleanup of the land and economic development and well-being of the Ogonis. Joining me now to throw more light on what transpired at the meeting with the President is the Senator representing Rivers Senatorial Southeast, Senator Barinada Mpigi. Barinada, glad to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
Interesting, of course, you saw Ngozi there receiving her award from This Day.
That was a nice one.
Good.
Kudos to Nigerians.
And kudos to This Day and Arise, yes. Okay, well, Tinubu wants to change the narrative of Ogoni. One on, is it a case of better late than never? That's one. And two, give us an overview, if you would, of what transpired, what was discussed at the meeting, aside peace, justice, and sustainable development.
Well, let me start by thanking God Almighty and thanking Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. What he has done and what he did yesterday, I can say it was an excellent movement and a good day for the Ogoni people. I am the senator representing the people of Rivers Southeast Senatorial District, and we have about 7 AGAs that made up that senatorial district, but the Ogoni people are just about 4 with about 56 wards.
Okay.
I want to say we have started the journey for so long. We tried it with President Buhari. I led a delegation of the Ogoni people with the then Majesty King J.N.K. Giniwan to see President Buhari. And of course, we started this procedure, but we didn't get to this point. But what I saw with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu yesterday was what we can call democracy in action, because he called all these sectors, both the former governor, who happened to be the minister of the FCT, and he also called the present serving governor of the state, Esimenaye Fubra, and all political gladiators in the state, both the traditional rulers, former senators that served before me, and a lot of our representatives, including the Christian representative as well. It was a genuine meeting. The president called us and actually told us as Ogoni people, I know what has happened before. My people, we don't want to go in for war, but we know Ogoni people, we've passed through a lot of trenches. And at this time, let's be genuine and be particular and be very, very professional to one another. Please, there will be reconciliation. There will be peace if you people want. And of course, all of us agreed. The governor spoke after the president. The one traditional ruler spoke. And of course, we were all asked to go back to meet with the National Security Advisor.
Nuhu
Ribado. We also have the DG SSS and the group CEO of NMPC, Mele Carey. All our leaders we all met. When we got down there, I think we had a table plan program, of which amongst ourselves, 3 of our leaders were selected. These people are apolitical. They are not either with A or B. And they were choosing. We all embraced them. One renowned professor from the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Baridan, was selected. And we were all happy with him. My own former bishop, Archbishop Kate, was also picked, and one former commissioner, Tomorage, was also picked. We all met, had a meeting, discussed with Nuhu Ribado. And straight on the line, we didn't delay. They left us Ogoni people to have our interactions.
Okay.
About 57 of us started our interaction. I was given the first shot. I opened up and I said, for us to actually have a peace process, let's talk about what will lead us into Ogoni. Because to be very candid and very sincere, very honest with what Mr. President said, Mr. President is not very, very keen on how to resume Ogoni oil. Okay. He needs some palliatives and how the Ogoni people can be bettered before we can penetrate Ogoni. So I brought up the case of the East-West Road, of which the President, through Nuhu Ribado, quickly picked up. In Rivers State for now, we have 3 senatorial districts, the Rivers East and the Rivers West. The other 2 are federal institutions like federal universities. It's only the Rivers Southeast that don't have. Now there's a university bill that has been passed by both arms of the National Assembly, and it's just before Mr. President. We also tabled that matter before then. And I'm sure Mr. President will not say no to it, because the Ogoni people and the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District cannot be ignored like that. And I'm sure by today, as I'm speaking, there are procedures that they follow in before bills can be signed into an act. Such things are going on. We made some demand of renovation, a palliative of some of our schools, and trying to see if they can also hook us to one of the turbine with the Indorama NMPC that is at that element, and see how this our road, 15 kilometers, 2 lanes will be 30 kilometers, can quickly be corrected. I think the National Security Advisor and the DG SSS and Mele Carey quietly told us that this thing is something they can take to Mr. President and be given a speedy consideration. So I think the Ogoni people had a very good day and a robust time yesterday with Nuhu Ribadu and the other teams that made up this thing. And we've continued this discussion, and it's ongoing. Back at home, since after 1993 till now, non-Ogoni person will tell you that life has been very easy back at home. We've seen other communities within us surviving because there are other trades that is going on, because there are oil exploration going on within their area. If you ask the common youth of Ogoni, do you want oil exploration? They will say yes. If you ask the old woman, do you want oil exploration? They will say yes. But to what extent are they saying yes? They say it must be all-encompassing. And that is exactly what Mr. President has told all of us, that we must have to go back to all the kingdoms of Ogoni. Because we have about 16 kingdoms in that place. We have about 4 local governments in that place. So apart from the people that attended the meeting, we have the Kagote, which is an umbrella body of the Ogoni people. We have the Supreme Council that comprises all the chiefs of Ogoni. We have the youth body that is also there. We have the Christian Council. And of course, the Women Council and the Bokabari, of which Bennett Birabi is part of. All these people, definitely Mr. President said we have to consult with everybody to see how we can get everybody on board.
All inclusive. Well, you've talked about if you ask the woman on the street that and that, they want exploration. But it's interesting because a coalition is calling for a hold to any. You also said that the president is not even talking about oil exploration now, but a coalition is calling for a hold to any oil exploration until the environment is fully remediated. What's your sense of what they're saying? They're also saying seeking justice for Wiwa, other Ogoni leaders, exonerate them, return the Wiwa Memorial bus sculpture, whatever that means, and recognize Wiwa as an environmental hero.
Well, let me just tell you, I'm an elected representative of the people. Whether they're coalition, they are not coalition, I'm the mouthpiece of the people. Both the coalition and the non-coalition elected me to the Senate. I speak for them.
Yeah, but you were talking about inclusion now.
I speak for them. And part of my representation is consultation with them back at home.
Oh, okay.
The president has asked us to go back home to consult. I'm sure even today, a meeting was held somewhere in Port Harcourt, and that is involving more people. That's inclusion. As we finish from Abuja here, we'll go back home, LGA by LGA, and we'll talk to all these people. Mind you, this coalition, they are all from LGAs. Mind you, they are from units. Mind you, they are from wards. So there cannot just be a coalition in bracket, quote unquote, that will be existing somewhere. Some of these coalitions are coalitions that exist in briefcase that don't even know what's happening in Ogoni.
You said they exist in briefcase.
Yes, most of those things exist. They'll be existing in briefcases without even going back to Ogoni. We are the people that have been elected. We go back home, sit down with our people, and I want to assure you, it's like a marching order from Mr. President. Make sure your people are in peace. Make sure your people are together. We will go back home. Our people will be in peace. We will suspend all the unnecessary quarrels that are being on ground and make sure we do the deed of Mr. President to make sure it's good with the Ogoni people back at home.
All right. $1 billion Ogoni cleanup, but only 1/3 completed. I got us about 300 billion that has been with a high rep. What has been the hindrance, or what's been the journey so far with the cleanup?
Let me just make one correction. I sit, apart from sitting as the Senate Committee Chairman on Works, I'm also the Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on Host Community that supervises High Prep. A lot of people don't understand what is actually going on. Right now in Ogoni, you can see most of our youth, that is why you can see crime being reduced at that place. The High Prep coordinator that just came on board, alongside with his team, they tried to reposition Ogoni in such a way that the place is taking a new dimension. The Niger pipeline that cuts across up to Bonny, right now, the crude is passing freely to prove to you that the Ogoni people are actually now waking up from our slumber, and we are actually awake to see how things will work. If anybody is telling you that high prep or the remediation is not working, they are not telling you the truth. It's actually working, because most of the remediation sites now, they've started doing experimental planting, and it's working. Some of the mangrove where they've started planting some trees now, they are working, but it has to take some time. We have the specialist hospital, we have the all-powerful power line that HyPrep is organizing. We also have a lot of programs that HyPrep have been doing. Mind you, it's not just almost all the LGAs in Ogoni and communities, they are all now having water projects that is ongoing, done by HyPrep. So if somebody tells you that that program is not working, maybe they are not telling you the truth.
What the talk is one-third. One-third out of 100% is quite, is almost not infinitesimal, but, one-third out of...
Let me tell you, what happens every day on ground? Remediation ground changes. I have worked with exploration company before I joined into politics. So at point A, where we have a problem now, if there's a new bust that was not put into assessment at a time, people will now assess it. But I can tell you, with what they have done on ground, they've gone beyond 50% remediation on Ogoni land.
50%?
More than 50%, I can tell you boldly. So if anybody is telling you that they have not done up to 50%, they are lying. I can tell you. An assessment of your team, most of the time, try to call the HyPrep coordinator and say, let's go to site to see what is really happening. You will discover that what they are saying, maybe just their own view, and it's not the view of what is in the UNEP report and what is the HyPrep they are working with. But I can assure you that the job is ongoing and it's progressing accordingly.
All right. Can you clarify what about misconceptions about financial compensation that funds paid to Ogoni people were settlements won by individual farmers and fishermen? Can you clarify this issue of compensation paid?
I don't know about compensation because I don't do compensation. So if you can tell me broadly about what fisherman and what this, I can answer.
No, some people have gone outside of the country to go to court concerning...
There have been series of court actions in Ogoni land, even from a bubu, that some people made some money.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah,
they made some money and they've been paid accordingly because they look at amount paid to them by share before, and went share, and then went to court. They defeated share. So that is the much I can know. The board of people also went to court and also won share in court, and they were compensated. Compensation is not is either on individual level, community level, or clan level. It can't be an Ogoni thing holistically.
Yeah.
So,
okay, you've told us that the president has directed the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, to coordinate the negotiations and called for inclusive consultation. Yes, you said that. And mutual understanding. Also, the NMPC is involved. So what next going forward? You've also told about going back home to do more consultations. What next going forward and the timeline? Because I remember you said the president is not particularly, because the talk has been the federal government wants to start oil exploration there. But I think you said that that's not even his major focus. His focus is about, getting Ogoni people, satisfying them and moving forward. So what next?
To my mind,
and the timeline.
To my mind, as a representative of the people, I will want, alongside with whatever package the president is given, for us to quickly go in for exploration. Ask me why. The reason why I want that, other parts of the world are growing. They are leaving us behind. I'm 63 today. And tell me, if we don't tap the Ogoni oil right now, we've been participating in politics. We have suffered a lot of hazard, degradation, probably before now. But other LGAs behind us, who is sure whether they are not tapping this our oil secretly? I have a local government by my side. They are taking this oil from there. The same OMA 11, Oyibo. We have marginal wells at Opobo and Andoni, and they are taking oils from there. My people are sitting down with the barrels of gas and oil that is beneath us, and we think they are not taking it, I think let it be legalized. I will subscribe to the fact that let this oil be taken while other things follows. Because if we don't take, we can't compete like with others. Our people from Onega, from the Obricon area, and also our people from other areas that are also giving out oil, I think they are ahead of us.
Ahead of you. So that's your own. I mean, let's just do this now. That's your own.
We should.
That's your own thinking. But you're going to consult with people. The NSA is there. By the way, what role would the NSA be playing at the NNPCL? I'm wondering. And then the ministers, because the president said the ministers, NSA, the NNPCL should cooperate with the people that came representing, and you've talked about. So what role would they be playing? And so I'm talking about others. What's the timeline now for exploration? I mean, you said, let's start it now. That's you.
Yeah. If you ask the role the
NNPCL,
NSA, the DGSSS we played, if you know what we call re-entry.
Re-entry.
If you say re-entry, entry into a place that you were before.
Okay.
There must be some processes that need to follow. Mind you, there must have been some security situations on ground. The NSA and DGSSS must have to clear the line. NNPC, they are technical experts. And because they are technical experts in such an area, they need to also see areas about the congestion. There have been some old pipes and old oil facilities that are being on ground. Those are the works that NNPC will be doing.
Okay.
If you talk about the ministers, they provide the political stance for us to see how we can negotiate with the people to clear way for all this. They call it pre-permitting or pre-entry.
Okay, pre-entry.
Pre-entry and pre-permitting. Pre-permitting in the sense that if you are talking to people ahead of time, so that whatever people that is coming behind, they won't be hampered at all. That is the essence of pre-permitting. So we cannot enter, and there will be not encumbrances that will come behind it.
Okay,
that is why all these people are put together as a team for Mr. President.
Okay, we can't end this discussion without talking about Ogoni 9. The wife of one of the 9, Victoria Biera, says she's not asking for money, rather justice, and that government has not reached out to the deceased. That government should open a channel of communication with, discuss with the deceased. Did this come up at your discussion with the president? Because, I mean, wounds, he talked about wounds being healed.
Let me just clear your eye here. We have Ogoni 9, we have Ogoni 4.
Yeah, we have Ogoni 4 too.
So we should talk about Ogoni 13.
Yeah, the Ogoni 4 is coming out of the Ogoni, the accusation that we were...
We should come out of we should talk about the Ogoni 13. I, that sit down here, I represent all sectors of Ogoni.
Okay.
So if you want to discuss anything about what has happened in Ogoni, we should put all together as Ogoni people. Let's not divide because we want to build a common house.
That's why you're here.
That is why we can foster our people into a greater tomorrow. Not going back. That is the thing. If you ask me anything about this one, I think all of us have made our sacrifices.
Yeah.
And because we have made our sacrifices, I think let's move forward and not thinking about government. We are all government of our own. We have the local government people back at home. We have the county council government, those ones back at home that from the community angle. These people can settle most of this problem. But I know what is happening. If you continue to enlarge and elongate this problem, people who are close to international organizations will continue to benefit and thinking that Ogoni land is a place of no return, that people cannot go. But I can assure you, all of us as leaders in Ogoni, we've agreed our place is a place...
It should not be a war zone.
No, our place
should be a healing...
Our place is a place anybody can go and do business free without any threat at all. So nobody should now begin to bring up issues of what has gone behind. We've gone beyond that. As of today, I'm representing the people. And it's going to be in
Yeah,
history.
but can you really
Today,
can you really go forward really without talking about, without trying to heal
for
wounds?
how long? Let me tell you. Sometimes we talk about movement for the survival of the Ogoni people. Can't we talk about the movement for the development of the Ogoni people? Must we be surviving?
That's a good one.
No, I'm asking you.
That's a good one.
Must we be surviving? We should develop right now. And because others are developing. The other day I was driving from Victoria Island. I saw a Tesla car parked somewhere on the Lagos Third Mainland Bridge. And I said, what happened? Oh, they say the problem that happened here was that the gas got finished. So if, as at this stage in Lagos, there's Tesla that is not even using petrol, and Ogoni people, at this stage, we are waiting to negotiate, not even begging government. We need to beg, but substantially, the government will come to our understanding to make sure what concerns Ogoni people, the facility we deserve, be given to us as well. But at this stage now, it's like 50-50.
Okay. Barinada Mpigi, Senator representing Rivers South East Senatorial Zone. Thank you for your time on Arise Prime Time.